Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Presidential ticket. Buhari disowns Adamu over Lawan. Tinubu tipped to win APC presidential race. Nigeria Air gears up to begin operation. Diversion of traffic on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway begins on Thursday, travelers are told. Terrorists operated for 30 minutes at Owo Church. Survivors recount. Lamata Owando signed deal for electric mass transit buses in Lagos. Okay, let's start with Nigeria Air.
Nigeria Air. So the interim chief executive officer of Nigeria Air, Captain Dapo Olumide, yesterday in Abuja, while receiving air transport license from the DG of NCA, that's the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, was just, talking to Nigerians. First of all, allaying our fears about the pattern of maybe the Nigerian Air going the way of the previous ones and never taking off. He says that's not the case at all. That in fact, right now, at the time of the meeting, there was one person who wasn't in that meeting. He said that person is in Europe shopping for aircraft. He said COVID also happened to the process, that there are different stringent requirements, and it takes time to go from one step to the next. But COVID also happened to that process, delayed a lot of things, but they are on it. And very soon, that it will take off. And just basically what it is. So we're looking forward to having our own national carrier.
So Nigerians were in a limbo yesterday when they got the news that the consensus candidate from the National Working Committee was Ahmed Lawan. And this was pronounced by the chairman of the NWC himself, Adamu. So unfortunately, the committee themselves said, they have nothing to do with this. So they were not even called for any meeting. That this is solely, completely an Adamu's pronouncement. The northern governor says they reaffirmed their position the power must shift to the south. And the Buhari said, there shall be no imposition of any party, any candidate, because he has no appointed candidate. According to him, because I want a consensus does not mean I have a candidate in mind. Sit down together and agree. And since you guys cannot agree, we could go to the polls. So we're all expecting
it's like
the delegates to
APC
vote
speaking
today.
From four corners, like different things coming out from one party. Of course, we don't expect everybody to agree, but there's a high level of, is it a confusion or a desire to confuse people about what will happen today? It's less than 24 hours. We would all know. Everything that is, all this permutation would end.
But I really don't even know why people keep going back and forth. This is politics. These are politicians. It happens every 4 years. You people will say the same thing. That's how
really, we're not saying the same thing. This
it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Feels different.
What feels different about it?
Exactly. Politicians doing politics.
But you see, I like the democracy that we're seeing because, yes, there are preferred candidates. There's people like this one, that one, that like this one, like one. But I like the fact that everybody's lobbying, consulting each other to see the best. Unfortunately, the consultation hits a deadlock. Now they're going to the polls, so everybody's got to vote. Now the president is also appealing to the delegates. Please, choose your conscience. Don't just go. Don't go because of money.
So they went. The governors went to the president. And noticeably absent was the Kogi.
Oh, he left.
Yes, he chose not to be.
Because he felt that they were already agreeing to move the zone to south. So obviously that wouldn't favor him. So obviously he walked out.
A lot of drama. Interesting to watch.
Okay, moving on quickly to the Punch. APC presidential tickets. Adamu's consensus plot fails. 21 aspirants in battle royale. You didn't. It's a battle royale. Protesting workers shut down National Assembly. Lawmakers postpone resumption. 3,135 candidates with high UTME scores denied admission, says JAMB. Uni Abuja dismisses 2 professors over sexual harassment. Makinde contested PDP governorship primary alone and defeated himself, says Bola Rumi aspirant. Lesson teacher bags life imprisonment for impregnating 14-year-old pupil. I didn't see PDP's delegates list until the day of the primary, says Dele Momodu. Varsity Union's federal government renegotiation panel sits today. Our massacre survivors, victims, relatives groan as can NGF protest. Okay, which story?
Let me take the 14-year-old, the teacher that was imprisoned. It was given life imprisonment by Justice Abiola Soladoye. She actually has been doing this regularly. She has been giving them life imprisonment. So he was her lesson teacher. He used to take her in lesson. He used to go to her house. And while he was there, he was having intercourse with her.
Oh, my God.
And then she got pregnant. She got pregnant and she had the baby. So the judge was very, very angry and said that he was wicked, ungrateful, and he acted with impunity.
Abuse.
He went to teach her lessons and he taught her nonsense. Got life. And he's put on the sexual violence
offenders list. Sexual offenders list.
Sexual offenders list, yeah.
Yeah, so JAMB is saying that a total of 3,135 candidates who scored above 300, who scored from 300 and above in 2018, 2019, and 2020 did not gain admission. For me, that's such a huge number of brilliant people that didn't get admission into university. Anyway, they just gave a breakdown of some of the reasons why this is that one of the reasons they said that there's a combination, you know, when you're writing JAMB, there's a combination of subjects you need to pick for the course you are going to write. So if you're going to write, if you want to study medicine, you must have maths, English, of course. You have maybe physics and chemistry. But it says that some people are picking the wrong combination. Someone will pick maths, English, religious education, or something like that, that does not, you know, lead you to getting the course that you want. But for me, I thought that this was something that was already spelled out. Your schools will let you know. There are brochures that let you know. But they're saying that many Nigerians make that mistake. That also there's a post-UTME screening that happens, and some of them fail at that point, and a few others. So I think that while people are about to write this, read the brochures, and then we should have regular lesson trainings to just remind people what they need to do. Yes, and if you are reading for medicine, these are the combination of subjects you need, you know, going forward. But it's such a big number that really brilliant children are not getting into universities because of this.
So our expenses has increased, we all know. But in this case, we tend to say that we don't have data. This is specifically from the e-channel. So Nigeria Interbank Settlement System has revealed that the expense that what Nigerians spend on power, other utility, through the banking channels, fees, levy, premium, subscriptions, have increased by 387%. According to the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System, they mentioned how we're spending more money, the use of mobile money agents, the process of the breakdown between January and April, how we have spent more money. And I was waiting at this point to say, okay, maybe based on this, what's the good news in this? The good news is Nigerians are adopting e-payment channels. Since COVID, we've gotten integrated more with using this platform. About 44%, which is another story of Nigerians have access to smartphones, which is an improvement from before.
Okay, we're looking forward to the report from the federal government and ASUU. They are also today, their consultancy ends today. So they're trying to renegotiate the MOU that was signed back in 2009. And according to them, they should have a report for the federal government submitted today. They've spoken to all the stakeholders. Everybody has come for the meetings to see what they can do to ensure that this time around, the terms of engagement, terms of agreement is agreed upon and reached and implemented for all sides. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, move on to other papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're moving on to Daily Sun. APC boils over consensus choice. Southern governors must reposition Amotekun and Ibubiagu. Ondo Church massacre death toll rises as police recover 3 exploded IEDs. Citadome, again, hoodlums set trailer ablaze in Nsukka. Presidency replies Tinubu says Nigerians not one person meet Buhari president. Mbaz emerges as PDP candidate People's Choice says Nnamani. APC insensitive to plight of Nigerians says Atiku. Okay, which story?
Okay, let me give just the update on this sad event that happened in Owo. According to the reports, it's saying that the death toll has risen, that some of the victims that had been taken to hospital, some of them have passed, and about 10 of them have passed since, the incident. There's also the fact that we have Okay, so they gave us just a little, to give us context of this particular church. They said it's one of the largest churches in that community. It has 1,200 capacity. So obviously that church must have been targeted, in my opinion, targeted over a period. The Pope prays for the Pope had sent, Pope Francis sent his condolences and prays for the victims and also for the country. The governor of Ondo State had asked that the flag be flown at half-mast for 7 days. Also, we have dignitaries that have visited the state. The vice president was there to represent the president. ASUU Bola Ahmed Tinubu was there. He made a pledge of 50 million naira to the victims and another 25 million naira to the church itself. The United Kingdom, European Union and Iran also have reacted to what has happened, condemning it fully. Yes.
Okay, so Ohan is in... You want to take a story?
No, was it in the Punch Sun that the blasphemy suspect...
Go ahead, Waiki. I don't have that story here.
Okay. The victim of... Yes. The police have arrested 15 suspects for the burning of the
young lady, that one?
Yes. No. This one was in Abuja.
Okay. This was Abuja.
It was in Abuja. They burnt the guy alive, and they apparently he had been arguing with a Muslim cleric.
Yes.
Yes. He had been arguing with the Muslim cleric.
He was arguing with the Muslim cleric. He is part of a vigilante that's supposed to go through this market to make sure that, I think there are some rules that they were meant to follow. And he engaged this particular person who was not following those rules. And he said something which was interpreted as blasphemy, according to this person. And they had gone ahead, everybody had gone home. Then they went back for him much later at night.
He went to call a mob.
Yes, he called a mob on him, and he was burnt alive. And so the update today is that a few people have been arrested in connection to that.
You can't even do the right thing anymore in this country. You get killed for it. You can't obey the rules. Somebody will call it blasphemy.
Yes.
No, just because he didn't obey the rules and he's a cleric, they have burnt him alive. Come on. Okay,
so Ohana Zendigbo is saying that there's an urgent need to reposition Ebubeagu and Amotekun vigilante groups in the southeast and the south and southwest also. He's saying that he condemned the massacre that happened in Owo. And they were saying very clearly that they've called for restructuring of the nation's security architecture, stressing that its domestication is required at this time. He also said that the killings by terrorists had once again exposed the level of insecurity and inability of the federal government to rein in the agents of darkness in our country. So they're saying that all these major regions must begin to... I'm not sure if it's harming them.
Innovation. People need to work together.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, I think it makes us stronger if the entire Southwest security network work together. Information spreads faster.
Yeah, but you see, there's Amotekun, there's Ebubeagu. Each of them was now, you need to strengthen those groups. And they need to have more regionally and ensure that they are properly armed. And they have more intelligence and technology. They need technology. In those forests, you need technology. There are ways you can find and detect to know who are settled in certain forests. And there has to be ways of having CCTVs in major highways because these guys come through, they drove in to the church with the vehicle. They passed the roads. So, I mean, we on Lagos roads, and some of them we have cameras here.
What is upsetting for me is when that prelate
gave his own testimony of what happened to him.
What happened. People were saying he's being divisive. See now.
Immediately after he said it.
And the DSS some weeks ago or months ago, they said they gave one alarm that something is going to happen somewhere. When the thing is actually going to happen, you don't hear. They don't have any information. It's the ones that don't happen that they have information for.
Well, they can explain it by saying if they have forewarned you, you must have stopped it. Exactly. So this one, they missed it, and that's why it happened.
They always miss the important things.
Okay, let's find a story we've not taken. Elon Musk threatens to cancel Twitter deal. Bandits abduct 20 persons in Zamfara. No single person made Buhari's victory possible in 2015, says presidency. Climate change, Sanwo-Olu calls for collective environmental action. Owando Lagos partner on electric mass transit buses. Nigeria's electricity grid to collapse further, says report. APC convention, appeal court stops National Assembly from imposing statutory delegates. Okay, which story?
So I was curious about why Elon Musk wants to pull out of the deal, because this was a very popular deal. We do business on Twitter, so it should be important to us. Anyway, the $44 billion Twitter deal, the reason Elon Musk is threatening to pull out is because Twitter hasn't been open about the number of bots. So apparently, they said 5% of his users are not human beings, but are robots. And Elon Musk doesn't believe that is true, that there is more to the figure than what they are giving. And he said that he does not believe the company's testing methodologies are adequate. So he wants to conduct his own analysis, and he's not given the opportunity to do that. He said if they refuse the information he's asking for, and the data request is asking for, the deal might just fall through. But
and if it falls through, how does that affect us regular Nigerians? It's just like,
I think that I would rather know if the operators I'm dealing with on Twitter are human beings or non-human beings, because we see a lot of things being written that we cannot trace that. Is it a human being writing this? Because you can write those things and cause crises in different communities.
Okay, so will you stop using Twitter if you don't get the information? You personally?
No, I'm not really
just move on.
I just market.
We are sheep. We're just sheep. We'll just keep going.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Anyway, so Owando has signed Lagos State has signed an MOU with Owando, and it's just
good news.
Good news in that they are going to be providing electric
Mass transit.
Mass transit, yes. So what this means is that Lagos State is going green, but they said they particularly picked Owando because it was not just the provision of these buses, but also the fact that they're going to be involved in the maintenance of it and just the operations of it. And Lagos State is excited because it's in keeping with the whole idea for Lagos State, a smart city, going green, going forward. There's another story also where the governor was talking to commemorate the World Environmental Day and charging all of us to, join our hands together in protecting our environment because we only have one Earth.
I saw a video, though, from Maiduguri. A Maiduguri engineer actually converted public buses into green compliant buses by removing the fuel capacity, putting in the batteries, and it charges, it's powered by electricity.
Yeah.
Right in Maiduguri.
I know someone that comes to my house on his electric power bike. It just makes me so excited.
A lot of things we're moving in the
so Garba Shehu has signed a statement saying that not one person was responsible for bringing in President Muhammadu Buhari back in 2015. According to him, there were several factors that led to the emergence of the president, saying that he understands that this is a season where everybody is trying to connect themselves to the president. They want to show that it was me, that he understands that. But in reality, many people came to him concerned. Some were instrumental in the new party APC being formed. Some were instrumental in encouraging him to rerun. Others, helped in support in different ways. So there were several varied factors that brought him.
Interesting.
Okay, I think that's all we can take.
As an observer, what I saw was that there was a particular person that pushed him forward.
Simple.
The introduction of that particular person changed the pattern that had happened 3 years ago. Final paper, let's go.
We need to even hold that person accountable. That CEO,
come see the person you brought to.
What's happening?
We have to run. There's no new story in the Nigerian Tribune. I think we've taken all the stories. National Assembly deserted as workers begin indefinite strike.
I don't have the story. I read it briefly, but the workers are complaining about their wages and the amount there was, how do I call it, a protest and the barricade of the National Assembly. And this is not new. The story has been ongoing since the complaints about their wages, though. People from the national representative have said that it is not their responsibility to pay. There's a different committee that sees to that. It should be sorted out, please.
Okay, that's all we can take on front page review. When we come back, move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.